Hi, my name is Peter Hinssen. I'm the author of The Day After Tomorrow. In the book, we've seen a number of really interesting patterns all related to trust. Trust seems to be one of those absolute key pillars of understanding the 21st century. If you look at what happens in the world of technology, trust becomes an absolute essential element. We're more and more connected, we have more and more devices, we have more and more content, but can you actually really trust? In a very short time, we've seen the rise of fake news, where we have to understand what is real and what is genuine and what is not. This idea of trust becomes absolutely completely central in this consumerized and network society. But at the same time, we're seeing that we have new mechanisms for trust. One of the most exciting things that I describe at length is what is now happening in the scene of cryptocurrencies, and then underneath blockchain. The economists actually put blockchain on the cover as the trust machine. We have new technologies, new mechanisms that can enable trust in ways that we could have never done before. I believe trust and technology is an absolute essential element to understand what is going to happen in the 21st century. At the same time, we see the same patterns of trust inside organizations. We see companies that have to unlearn their traditional structures. They have to rethink how they see organizational patterns, and actually, instead of the traditional command and control, we need to build networks of trust. Stanley McChrystal, one of my absolute heroes in this field, has shown how even in the military he had to completely rethink their structures from hierarchy into networks, because if you don't have a trusting environment, it will never be able to be as agile and as responsive as a traditional organization. We see the same thing happening in sharing economy. The idea of Uber and Airbnb and all the derivatives of the sharing economy is based on rating, is understanding what you're going to get. From the early eBay examples where you would rate the sellers and the buyers, we're seeing that this becomes a dominant factor. Trust becomes the absolute identity of an element in the network economy. And this is something that even inside organizations we're beginning to see. Why are these startups more successful? Why are they so agile? Because there is a trusting type of environment. I use the metaphor of the plantation and the rainforest in my book, where traditional organizations are based on very strict, very rule-based, and very traditional ways of understanding how to manage things, while the wildness of the rainforest allows startups to flourish. But in the rainforest, which is an inherently dangerous place, you have to have this element of trusting each other, or you'll never make it out alive. I think trust in every element, from technology to organizations, from economies to actually even how we think about customers, where you really need to build this trusting loyalty if you want to be relevant for your customers. Trust becomes the underlying element of trying to understand the 21st century.